I established Asia's largest repair factory in India. There we used to repair around 40,000 phones a month.
So repairing
30
was a culture that time.
Repair culture. I think still it has to be culture. Somehow it is forgotten.
Yeah.
I would say typically Indian, okay, they somehow, I don't know what repugnance they have. I only buy new car, new mobile, new clothes. And there's nothing like if you buy second hand, I think you're seen as like someone low, I think that's why you don't have money to buy that. That's not true. Motherboards have got lots of gold, silver, copper, platinum in some cases, palladium, lots of things are there. There's a huge science there. I think nobody talks about the science, but we carry lots of.
They were manufacturing electronics in such a way that the lifespan is very less. So we have to keep buying new.
The planned obsolescence is still there. I would say very mean thinking because you manufacture a bottle, say for example, and say bottle has to die after 2 years. What's the point in manufacturing it? Because some people buy for life. If the manufacturers are hearing it, they have to redo the maths here. They think that if the cost of repair, they keep it high, so customer will always have tendency of buying new. In reality, even the used phones, which are good, everything functioning well, no damages, it can still carry another 1 year because people think that wiping is equal to formatting, which is not the case. If you format it, you can again retrieve the old data. Smartphone takes around 12,000 liters of water. One phone. So, but obviously, it's not like okay, it drinks all the water and doesn't give anything. But what happens is like when I die, it's okay, I don't have guilt. I've done meaningful stuff in the life.
Yeah. Hey there, and welcome back to the Eco Shiros podcast. Tell me, do you have an old phone sitting in a drawer right now? Maybe a laptop you stopped using, or earbuds that just stopped working one day. You're not alone. Most of us don't know what to do with our electronics, so we just keep them. Or worse, we throw them away. Today's guest has built an entire company around solving exactly that problem right here in Dubai. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to look for when buying second-hand electronics, how to recycle your electronics responsibly, and why your next phone might not need to be a brand new one. E-waste is the world's fastest growing waste stream. According to the UN, over 53 million metric tons of electronic waste were generated globally in 2019 alone. And yes, less than 20% was formally recycled. So let's get into it. I'm so excited for this one. Hi Mukul, happy to have you on the show. I'm very excited for this episode because the intention of this episode is to debunk the myths and skepticism around buying second-hand electronic goods and also recycling electronic goods responsibly. So let's start with knowing a bit about you. Why did you start R3 Factory? What do you do at R3 Factory? And what does R3 mean in the name?
Yeah, thank you, Pallavi, for having me here. In fact, I also wanted to be part of your podcast because I see that you do amazing podcast.
Thank you.
And you touch base with something which I'm very passionate about. So to start with the end, like say, I'm very passionate about making things work and make it sustainable. And I worked before I started R3 Factory. I did not know which direction I'm getting into. It's like most of us, I did engineering. I worked in India for a few months and then I came to Dubai. I joined regional repair factory for Nokia. So it was managed by Axiom Telecom. And when I started, I did not know that which direction I'm getting into. But after some time, I realized that there's lots of defective Nokia phones those years. I'm talking about 2003. And from 2003 till 2010, I worked in service industry.
Okay.
I joined as a QC guy and I became the head of service center. I established Asia's largest repair factory in India. There we used to repair around 40,000 phones a month.
So repairing was a culture that time.
Repair culture. I think still it has to be culture.
Yeah.
It has to be, but I think somehow it is forgotten. But I think we are still trying to make it a very mainstream. And then after when I finished the repair part, then I started. My bosses said, "Okay, take up new project," and they asked me to do the buyback and selling the refurbished product. And that also was very phenomenal. We used to do very good numbers. And last they said, okay, let's do the customization bit. Like say we had around 200 showrooms in Axiom Telecom.
Okay.
So when I was like ending in 2016, I said, okay, I have repair experience, I have the buyback experience, I have the selling refurbished experience and the customization bit, right? So I said, okay, I've done it all, repair, renew, reuse. So let me start R3 Factory. Okay. So this is where it started. But I knew that I'm touching base with the real problem of this whole universe. And I strongly believe that the kind of society which we have created, which is hyper divided, and only sustainability can bring in people together.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, the thought I had. I think it was not from any textbook or something like that. It's just based on experience. And since 2017 till now, yes, we are doing R3 Factory, and we just tried catching that where is the main flow. When I started, I reached out to the Noon guys. They said, okay, they want to start Renewed by Noon, and we help them to do the branding, and we let them sell used product, certified used
So
product
you
on the
repaired them and they sold it on
so
behalf.
basically all the return goods. I think nowadays in e-commerce culture, you buy anything and you can just click and return anything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so lots of returns were there with them, and they did not know what to do. So they wanted to do a justice to it. So they said, okay, these returns are there, let us re-inventorize them. I think something of that sort. They had an idea, but then we realized there are lots of defects, so we could fix it. We put a grade to it, and we sold. So that was the starting point. Then the Lenovo had got lots of DOA, DAP. DOA stands for dead on arrival, dead after purchase. Technically, it's a technical term, but after it's just nothing but defective product.
Oh, okay.
So you buy a Lenovo phone. Those days, Lenovo phones were there, and if there's any defect, they simply replaced for the customer, and the defective would sit in the warehouse.
Achha.
So they have got lots of defects sitting in UAE, in Egypt, in Qatar, in Saudi, and regional wise. Multi-million-dollar worth of goods were there. They said, okay, Mukul, can you do something? I was happy. I said, okay, I'm learning. I'm trying to see where the scope is, and I cleared up quite. I used to bring all the DOA, DAP stuff, let's call it defective stuff.
Which was returned by the customer.
Yeah, returned by the customer. And test, segregate, and sell.
Okay.
So I believe that if anything is sitting with the customer, it always has a value, right? Sitting with the customer using it, not sitting in the drawer, right? And I think then we started R3 Factory, and R3 Factory was, all these things were done B2B. There was no brand needed as such. I said, okay, if it has to be a global story, I have to think that how it can be done. And so from last 10 years I've been thinking, dreaming, and acting whatever I can with all the strength I had, saying how I can really give a bigger shape, a larger shape. So this is where we have the small little end customer. So the end customers can come on with the electronics, and we do the valuation. They get the cash, and we again repair, refurbish, and resell it. So it was more of a purpose.
Okay.
I knew that I can make money, and that was thought I had. I still have the same thought. Yes, we are gradually growing, and now I see that I have reached to a point wherein I can take it to a real level, because it's a much massive business. I think we often think that sustainability or something like it's like it is nice to have, but I think it's reality.
It's like a social service.
Exactly, but I think if you look at, for example, let's say in this room we have got phones, table, chair, all the mics and the lighting and everything, and these are all goods which you already have, right? But if you, and sometimes something which is owned by you, it's not accounted. You say already I spent $1,000, $2,000, and just said anyway zero. But in reality, it always has a value. For example, somebody needs a mic, or somebody needs a camera or something. It always has resale value.
Absolutely.
Just that you have to find and connect the dots. And dot connection is like where an end customer wants to buy. People on Amazon and Noon, they buy through Amazon Renewed and Noon Renewed. And then we are trying to figure it out that how we can go to IR channel. IR means independent retail channel. There are around 3,500 shops across UAE alone.
Wow.
So how we can reach out to them. So it's a different ball game, and the rule of the game is not the same as the forward logistics. Forward means you are a manufacturer, you give it to distributor will give it to retailer, and then customer. Right? Be it a page or be it a physical stuff. But taking it back from society.
So this is going the other way out.
Other way around. So I think
taking
it has
from the customer, and then it again enters that cycle of.
So that's why I started R3 Factory. I thought like it's a very nice thing to have, and I will not have a guilt. Like when I die, it's okay, I don't have guilt. I've done meaningful stuff in the life. True.
And I think electronic waste is very hazardous also, right? If
it is not treated well, I think it is hazardous. I think in terms of mainly batteries, because it has got lithium-ion battery, and it can explode. Lead is very toxic.
Very toxic.
But lead is also very important. So if you salvage it and use it, make another battery, is good for you.
Oh wow! Okay, it can be reused.
Yeah, everything can be reused.
Okay.
So even the batteries can be reused. It gets crushed. You make it a powder. You can call it, technically you call it a black mass.
Achha.
And the black mass is used as a ore for the people who are trying to extract the separate component of it, and again they further reuse it.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
there's nothing technically in the phone which can't be reused.
So that's why I think electronic...
Apart from your data,
Of course, yeah. We'll come to that later.
Yeah.
But that electronic waste, I think, is the most valuable waste, right? In all the waste streams. If I have to,
Yeah, you're technically right, but I think that's also a myth, because I strongly believe that even apparel, right? I think lots of big brands are there, and secondhand apparel sells quite well actually.
Okay.
Very big market, especially in as long as as far as I know, in European countries, they don't mind you wearing someone else's worn clothes.
Yeah.
It's just that in our culture, I would say typically Indian, okay, they somehow, I don't know what's repugnance they have. Okay, no, I don't want. I only buy new car, new mobile, new clothes. There's nothing like, if you buy second hand, I think you're seen as like someone low. I think you don't have money to buy.
Yeah.
So if you can do conscious consumption and something which you're not consuming, if you can put it back again to value chain, I think that will have a major impact. And this is what I'm trying to do.
Very nice. So as you said, like, can you walk us through, like, suppose I come to R3 factory with some of my gadgets. Some might be old. They're still working, but I don't want them because it's all outdated. So what is the process? Can you take us through the process?
So as simple as I think as you can imagine. So when you come with let's say you come with the iPhone 14, let's say it's at 13, and let's say you come with a Nokia 3310, right? Which was the brick phone. I think we all been
the first
one.
Right.
No, actually, that was not the first one, but I think the big one was very popular.
Okay.
There were lots of other phones. Like, since I was a QC guy,
I don't remember.
And sitting in Dubai, I was handling all the regions of the phone, right? I think I need to come in a big trolleys, and my job was to enter IMEI and scan it and test what fault it has.
Oh wow.
So I have literally seen every kind of Nokia, phone which they have manufactured. Anyway, coming to your question, so let's say you're bringing some which is very old, which is not so relevant now. And the phone which is still relevant now. So something which is relevant, we we check two things. One is cosmetic and one is the functionality.
Okay.
And it is all done manually. Obviously, there are systems in place where you can plug in and quickly check, but only functionality. Cosmetic you cannot check. So based on cosmetic and the functionality, we decide what grade it is. For example, let's say we have 4 grade or 3 grade. So condition 1, condition 2, condition 3. Condition 1 be the best, right?
Okay.
And 3 be the worst. For example, everything is okay, all fine. And usually people are very sensitive about the scratches on the screen.
Yeah.
Like, say they don't want any scratches on the screen, even though they know that when they're using it can have scratches. But anyway, that is like a bad part, so gets automatically pushed towards condition 2 or 3. If it is light, minor scratches, go on 2. If it is too much deep scratches, go on 3, right? And something defective, not working, all goes into condition 3. So that's how it is defined. You can call it a good, average, poor. Right? So good is 1 and poor is 3.
Right.
And based on this, there's a price point attached to it.
Okay.
And let's say you give us the condition 1, and I'm just talking about the useful phone. And then you give condition 3. So condition 1 can always be cleaned up. We can check the battery. If the battery requires replacement, we can replace it. And we pack it again. We say, okay, this is A plus or A or A. But there's lots of things. Like the way when you sell a used car, people say, oh, the car is going. People who are buying mentality and selling mentality. So when you buy on a blunt parameters, right? But when you sell, you always go on very precise parameter. So that's how it is. That's how the world is. So selling mentality shifts immediately. Like if you sell something, if you say I want to buy the same thing, probably you have to pay more. That's how it works. So there are multiple grades to it, and we call it quality pre-loved. And we sell with 1 year warranty. So
1 year warranty.
1 year warranty. Because what happens is, like, we think that only in brand new can carry the warranty. But in reality, even the used phones, which are good, everything functioning well, no damages, it can still carry another 1 year warranty. Because we are trying to see that how we can tell people that used products can also meet your requirement. You don't necessarily have to go and spend lots of money. I'm not saying don't spend, because obviously if you're in love with latest launch, you would definitely go and stand in a queue and buy it. But if you are just a normal user, I would say economic user, thinks of what money you spend, you can always go for it, and you still not have any drop in the experience, right?
Very
So that's how we do it. And coming to the second part, let's say we buy Nokia. So Nokia has got no resale value as such, right? Maybe there can be some people who say, I just want to have SIM card. If it is having some reusable value, it has a value. Otherwise, what happens is all the unusable products gets consolidated and it gets like, recycled. Recycling means like, you separate the battery out, you separate the motherboard, and you separate the metal if it has metal.
Okay.
If it is precious metal, normally, like Celoto, Nokia, if you remember, there was a titanium body and all that. That has got very high value itself. That phone is still in demand, by the way. And otherwise, motherboards have got lots of, gold, silver. Copper, platinum in some cases, palladium, and so on and so forth. Right? Lots of things are there. There's a huge science there. I think nobody talks about the science. People say, okay, everybody has a phone. I also have a phone. But we carry lots of precious metal and rare earth metal in the phone, and magnets, etc. there. So these item has to be separated, and I think it has to be separated. It has to again fed back to the technically to the manufacturer.
Right.
But I think it can't be. It's not an ideal scenario that, for example, you produce a phone, and then you again take back everything and you again separate that raw material, again produce a phone. It's like if it can be fed to any manufacturing plant, not necessarily phone. It gets used. So that is what we call.
Does it deteriorate in quality?
No. There's no deterioration. I think metal remains.
Stays
Elements remains element all the time,
Yeah,
right? I think throughout the journey of the life cycle.
Yeah.
Nothing,
so necessarily
it
doesn't go back into the phone. It can be used in any other industry.
Anything. Yes.
But the customer does get money for that Nokia phone.
What happens is, as a token of appreciation, we can do something, but I think normally it doesn't have value unless it's in metric tons.
Okay.
And let's say you have got this full room of Nokia phones, and then you will separate it, and
then there is value to the
value, right?
material.
Otherwise, like say people say, oh, what about the gold it has, right? But gold is insignificant.
Yeah.
The amount of effort you would require to take the gold out of one phone will be, like say, phenomenal. And I think somehow manufacturers are still of an opinion that they can only make money by selling brand new. But I think if they understand that if they start thinking that sustainability can also bring in big value, and I think the mindset will change.
Yes.
But today the researchers are all told, okay, make it tiniest, most compact.
Yeah.
So at least somehow.
And also hopefully now they are changing, but they were manufacturing electronics in such a way that the lifespan is very less. So we have to keep buying new.
It is. It's still there, by the way. The planned obsolescence is still there.
Yeah.
See, I would say very mean thinking. I think I don't know what better word to say that.
Yeah.
Because you manufacture a bottle, say for example, and say bottle has to die after 2 years.
Yes.
And then I think what's the point in manufacturing it? There can be other way around, because some people buy for life.
Correct.
Right? And I think this is where the mindset is shifting. And that's why in our industry, there are multiple terms, like say for example, called buyback, trade-in, device as a service program.
Yeah.
Right. For example, let's say you buy a phone, and in US, if you buy, you always have the latest of the gadget, and every month you keep paying it, and one day the new thing comes up and you have the new one in your hand. So you never realize that you are always on a device as a service program. But whereas in this part of in this region, people often buy with the cash.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it's a very expat floating population. So you can't really give them a device as a service program. Otherwise, half of the phone will be gone. Sorry to say that. I think this is what it is, right? I think very difficult to differentiate who can do what.
Correct.
But nowadays, though, they are, like say, Tabby, Tamara trying to take payment in 4 parts, but that's still not device as a service platform. But I think there are people, there are companies, and we are trying to actively work on it, make it work, and let's see what we can do. So it's a very massive thing. So I'm just saying that if you really understand the problem, problem is not in consumption. Problem is in handling.
Absolutely.
Right? And we often think that, okay, let's say there's a 1 million device to be sold.
Yeah.
And we think, okay, we have to find, okay, who has got the pocket size of, who can consume 1 million. But reality is, there are 1 million people. There are 10 million people out there who can't even think of buying those.
Absolutely.
So it means whatever is coming to you, which is not, which you don't love anymore, because that's old model which you already produced. You don't talk about, I made iPhone 13 was very good, it was very fast. So they only talk about newer ones. Okay, sometimes we'll talk about iPhone 18, or Samsung will talk about S29 or whatsoever. So they have understood one model saying that, okay, only brand new
models are the best.
Should be talking about, and should be spoken about. Do the marketing, the biggest possible billboard, etc., etc., and try to have always tiny improvement. Whereas everything still functions. It's not, the world doesn't change overnight.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Laptop doesn't change, by
And
the
I
way.
think the oldest models are still much more better working, and only that the operating systems can't
Yeah.
be.
You'll be surprised that we still sell iPhone 8, iPhone 10.
Okay.
I wouldn't be lying. Even in Africa, they buy iPhone 6 even. So, so 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, X, XR, XS,
Yeah.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, and now 17. So this game is very big, massive, and we are trying to figure out what kind of language we should speak. So as I was telling you, a few jargon, like say buyback and guaranteed buyback. Guaranteed buyback, for example, let's say you're buying iPhone 17 and
Yeah.
you don't want to keep the, for example, next year you want to buy iPhone 18. You already have enough of money, you don't mind.
So I give this and get a discount on
Get a
the-
discount, a very good discount. That's what we run. So
Okay.
we already work with the distributor, and
Okay.
distributor offers this to retailer. Our retailer offers to end customer. So their sales goes up,
Okay.
and we have lots of phones coming in directly,
Yeah.
and then we further sell it to somebody else. So this is a chain, and we're trying to figure out what's the right flow of it. So this business is complex, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But I think the solution is also around us. So
Absolutely.
while we say there are challenges, but there are always new ways of solving the same
Exactly.
problem.
Yeah. So now coming to the data.
Yeah.
So that is always a concern.
Yes.
Like, frankly speaking, some of my friends also said that, and even I do have that concern. I have some old laptops which are not functioning properly now, and also there are some very old phones which I never knew what to do. I always thought that someday I will give it to somebody, or I will do something of it. But now it's become obsolete. There are no chargers for it, and the data is there. So the concern of many people is what happens to that data if I give it for recycling. So what do we do in such cases?
So in such cases, see, data protection is very important. I think in European countries it's already become a norm.
Yeah.
And here some companies do. For example, when they take the live working phone, they have to wipe it.
Yeah.
But people think that wiping is equal to formatting, which is not the case.
Oh, okay.
If you format it, you can again retrieve the old data.
Is it?
Yeah, but if you wipe it, means that you are cleaning all the header and you clean up everything else. So basically,
so formatting does not mean that your data is fully gone.
no, it is not. It is not. Yeah.
Okay.
So
common people like me can't do the wiping.
But I think when you reset it, I think there are still traces. You can always recover the old data. But when you do data wiping,
okay.
so data wiping is done through some standard protocol. I think US has it. European has it. I won't take the name, like say the company like Blanco and the other companies. So Blanco does the in general very respected company across the world in terms of data wiping.
Okay.
So you have to use that kind of software which apply that kind of protocol. So there's a military level protocol or something like that. So your data is not a concern. In case if you're...
So that is done every time. Like anywhere you give your digital product. Like
suppose... Not everyone does it, as I said. I think...
but at R3 factory you do it?
Yeah, we do. Yes, exactly.
So any device that comes to you, you do the wiping.
So we have the multiple software, like so we have Black Belt and we have Blanco. And I think there are other softwares which we have. Blanco, we are still in discussion.
Okay.
So we are just trying to, have the software which can do this. So Black Belt does it, by the way, right?
Okay.
But we also trying to take the standard software which can also further assure the customer that data is gone. And if in case if the device is dead, right, so you bring in the and most of the time the case is dead. It's not.
Yeah.
So the standard protocols say that you have to drill the memory part. So when you drill it, you have to report that I have drilled it. So nobody else can ever touch your data. So that's how it is. If you can turn it on, you can wipe it. Nothing like it. If you can't turn it on, but it is always up to the promise which you make.
Right.
And I think it's a reverse logistics, more of a process. Orchestration, I would say, rather than straightforward thing. Because when you buy new, there's no concern. You have data from old phone, you transfer to new phone, and then that becomes yours, right?
Yeah.
But when you want to sell something which you already have it, and you don't have time. Who's going to put time? Okay,
Yeah.
old emails, nothing. Okay, let me put in the drawer. My data is much more expensive than my phone.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but if you can get rid of it through data wiping and have a certificate, you don't have to worry as such.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So, do we have to pay for that
No,
certificate?
no, no. It's okay. It's part of the
That's a
buyback.
part of the.
I buy at, let's say, example, 1,000 dirham. I can sell for 1,200 dirham or 1,300 dirham. So
Okay.
part of the profit is already covered.
For the
And
data
yeah,
wiping.
it's okay. So it's a small amount.
Even if it's a device which is not working, like as I said, the Nokia old one.
If it is Nokia, yes, I think the standard protocol says either remove the memory or drill it. So that's the standard way.
Okay. I mean, if it's not functioning, you drill the memory. Yeah. Otherwise, you wipe it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's how it is. That's a
That's the
guideline.
protocol. Yeah.
GDPR, I think.
Yes, GDPR.
So that's a guideline which we have been doing this for some European company.
Yeah, that brings a relief. I think most of our audience will be relieved to know that.
Yeah.
So, but then this knowledge is very important because, as you said, at R3 factory you do it, but not everywhere, right?
Yeah,
so
sure. So
we have to ask them for this certificate. Like
100%.
knowing this is very important.
Very important, I think. And if you don't ask for certificate, then you are just giving it your credit card information or whatever, personal photographs, everything to someone else. But I think now, even from phone's point of view, latest phone gadgets have some way where you can't access someone else's data. Like say iPhone, if it's iCloud, you can't access someone's data. It's very encrypted.
Okay.
But in general, let's say phone is open, anybody can access the data is always exposed.
And I think the scams are really increasing nowadays.
Exactly. As we are growing, as I think lots of things are happening, and we have to just be aware, consciously be aware where we are, what can happen.
Absolutely, yeah. So what type of electronics do people bring to R3 factory? Like usually we think it's only phones and laptops. Other than that,
so quite a lot. For example, mobile laptops is there anywhere, as you said, and tablets, gaming console, controller, watches, headset. Headset becomes a hygiene issue, but I think we still try to figure it out that we clean it up and someone else can use it. TWS, like True Wireless, all those things are there. Television, yes, we get, but we get it through the manufacturer directly.
Okay.
Because it has got lots of logistics are involved, so we're trying to figure it out. But today we have all the TVs, Samsung, LG, everything keeps coming to us. Out of 10 TV, probably 1 or 2 which are still workable, 2 or 3 which can be repaired and resold, and 4 of them may be all broken. So in fact, nothing gets recycled. They all reuse it.
Oh, reuse. So everything. So TV cannot be recycled. It is reused.
It can be recycled. Recycling is the last resort. Right? Breaking it, crushing it is always the last resort, because when you break it, amount of energy which is required to recycle is far more than even reusing it. Changing screen and making it work is better. And there's always a customer for everything, by the way.
Okay. And sometimes, like, in the latest, especially Samsung or iPhone, when you have to repair the product, it feels like it's too expensive. So people feel, why should I repair? I'd rather buy a new model. So what do you have?
So that's a strategy of, again, we call it planned obsolescence, right? So in the eyes of manufacturer, if the manufacturers are hearing it, they have to redo the maths here. I think they think that if the cost of repair, they keep it high, so customer will always have tendency of buying new, right? So they discourage that. So, and reason I'm saying that R3 factory has not taken the authorization of the manufacturer, because we truly want to serve the customer. So what it means is there are lots of cannibalized parts. What it means is, like, say you have phone which is like dead, but LCD is still functioning. So we can use LCD as a part, right? Let's say battery is still good. We can use battery as a part. Housing is good. We can use. So that's what we call cannibalized part. UAE is a very good region, by the way. UAE is probably the very limited country which is, people may not rate UAE on a sustainability point of view, but UAE already does lots of sustainability.
I think now they are very aggressive in sustainability. But I think,
there are two ways. One is the one you can go on the rooftop and shout about we are sustainable, and one is there are lots of heroes which keep doing it. So UAE sells quite a lot of refurbished products. Not in the mainstream, not in the main market, not downtown and all that, but it all goes to neighboring countries from here. Similarly, on a laptops.
And I think the population here uses very high-end gadgets, so I think repairing, and when they discard it, I think that becomes a very good resource for reuse by somebody else, right?
See, as I said, I think UAE has got multiple personalities as a country. So one is the personality which expat guy who's working in some IT or business consulting whatsoever, and other people are more of trader mindset. So you'll see very split, and since UAE is more of a re-export kind of business because it sells to the African region and neighboring countries.
Yeah.
So that's a very different ball game altogether. I was talking about like UAE as a country, it brings in, you'll be surprised that all the broken LCDs, all the broken parts, all the broken laptops, all the DUAs and DAP, everything gets, it all comes over here.
Wow.
It gets further segregated, but it is not segregated in a way that you can say yes, it is a product. And that's a bridge which we are trying to, that is the gap which we're trying to fill in.
Okay.
Otherwise we will be surprised that lots of stock coming from Australia or
Yeah.
Europe. E-commerce return goods comes on a kg basis, and then you have to further segregate and resell it, and so it's a very nice system,
Yeah.
but very poorly organized.
Okay.
And we're trying to see that what we can do, how we can make it better, because you have to really reach out to the people in UAE. For example, person like you and everybody else here, if they can sell what they have,
Yeah.
and if they can buy whatever they want to buy. I'm sure there are lots of environmental conscious people here as well. I think the whole globe is, people are aware.
Yeah.
But if they have a credible option,
Absolutely.
an option means always, okay, will you give me warranty? Most of people say, sorry, when the moment you take out from a step from my shop, I don't know you. But that's not the way, right? I think you have to always, when you pay something, you have to get value.
Yes.
And warranty plays very vital role. And that's the reason we have started called Quality Pre-Loved.
Okay.
Right? So we say loudly 1 year warranty, quality pre-loved, and if you have any problem, you scan this barcode and you can tell your problem. We can pick it from your location, repair and give back to you.
Wonderful.
So that is the kind of promise which we need to everybody should do, and we are already doing it.
Yeah.
And we believe that I think by doing it we can open a gateway to the population, which is 10 plus million people here in UAE, and if we can do it successfully here, then I'm sure we can replicate the similar model all across.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you about that if somebody has to buy second-hand electronics, usually there is a skepticism that because in our minds, it's always that the electronic equipment is usually degrading. So when you're buying a second-hand, might be it is not of that good quality that I am spending money on. So what are the factors? Like you said, you give warranty, so that's a wonderful thing because you are guaranteeing that it's a good product, and even a new product has 1 year warranty.
Yes,
so even you are giving for a second-hand product.
Equating
it. Are there any other factors which we need to consider, like the customer has to consider when buying second-hand?
So when you buy a used product, you have to also be aware that whether LCD is genuine or not genuine.
Okay.
Right. I think, then you have to buy from the authentic sources. Sometimes when you buy a renewed product, you get refurbished product.
Okay.
And refurbished, in my view, it means that you have changed everything. So basically, you have, maybe the motherboard had defect, you fix the motherboard, you change the housing, you change the LCD, and sometimes it is counterfeit parts. And counterfeit parts is not good. So obviously, you'll have 3, 4, 5 months, then your experience will not be as same as the original product. So just watch out for the screen. I think that is the one thing. Screen has to be good.
Okay.
Right. And how would you know? So you have to buy from trusted source.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, for normal customers, it becomes very hard to figure it out.
I think that's why people back out, from buying, because they are not sure where to buy.
So what we do, right? For example, when we say, when we as RT factory sell, so we grade it like that. For example, if it is original open box, is it A plus, right?
Okay.
If it is A and A minus, and so we always tell the customer, if it is refurbished with the non-OEM part, not counterfeit part, non-OEM part, we say it is a refurbished non-OEM part.
Okay.
So customer deserves to know the history about it.
Exactly.
But in general, our promise is that you will have the fully working gadget.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about it's working, because sometimes doubt can really kill. So don't have to have a doubt. As we say, okay, 1 year warranty, no worries at all.
Wonderful.
We're trying to really understand the whole ball game. It has taken 10 years for me to do it.
Wow.
And I'm not saying I've learned it all, but I have understood quite a lot of game in the market. And that's why I see the big leap will happen probably this year.
Lovely. I'm so excited for that. Beyond saving money when you buy a refurbished product, what is the bigger impact you would like to tell the audience?
So a bigger impact is definitely, and I think goes without doubt, is save the environment. And for that, in fact, in last April, we thought of like how we can reach out to wider audience. And my kids go to Amity school, so I said, okay, can we launch Eco Warrior program? So the program would mean that, okay, you as a, say our kid can go home, identify something is there, and they can, if something broken, they can try to figure out what's the repair charges, or they can simply sell it.
Wow.
Obviously with the permission of the parent.
Yeah.
So and by doing so, they are not only minimizing the carbon emission. Obviously it goes without saying. For example, you sell something, it means somebody has to buy.
Exactly.
And somebody has to buy, then somebody has to probably use it. So it means that you have minimized the need for producing new.
Yeah.
So that itself is equal to saving.
Absolutely.
So carbon emission is one of the biggest factor which we all talk about it. But apart from that, there's also water saving, because smartphone takes around 12,000 liters of water.
Wow. One phone.
One phone.
Oh my
So, but obviously it's not like, okay, it drinks all the water and doesn't give
Yeah.
anything. But what happens is like a purification.
Yeah.
Like say your phone has got precious metal, let's say gold. Even to purify gold to use as a conducting point, I think we call it a fabrication. It requires lots of purification, and not just one metal. There are zillions of other things which is required.
Right.
So it requires really lots of water.
12,000. That's a lot.
Massive. So saving of electricity, saving of water, saving of carbon ore, saving of normal ore. For example, let's say you're using it. So obviously you don't have to go and dig the mine to get the thing. And lots of things are there. It's a whole world today chasing and doing digging and all the stuff. I think China, US fighting just because of rare earth metal.
Yeah.
So I think when you minimize the need for buying new product by repairing it or buying the used one, we're definitely making an impact.
Absolutely.
But what we are trying to do, we're trying to say how we can measure the impact, and we're trying to unify that. For example, let's say Pallavi, let's say for me Pallavi has got score of, let's say, 998 point. What did that mean is we'll equate it to how much CO2 she has saved.
Wow. Okay, so you give that metric as well.
So this is what we have done it.
Wonderful.
And we are trying to automate it in a way that it becomes the norm.
Right.
And I think and sometimes today we are doing everything physically ourselves. Like say we buy, repair, sell, all this stuff. And we have done it just to understand the experience.
Okay.
But I'm not saying we are only one. There's thousands of people other way. So what we can do, we're trying to bring that kind of framework.
Yeah.
At least we can work with a larger, audience. That's what we call ecosystem.
Absolutely.
Massive opportunity, long way to go and lot to be done. But it's good to be in this situation.
Wonderful. You're doing a wonderful work. And I think by bringing that program to the schools, you're educating the younger minds to inculcate that habit of, repair, reuse.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. So I have this round called Conscious Quick Takes, where we have like short, you need to just give short answers to this question. It's like a rapid fire.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So one word to describe someone who still throws their old phone straight in the bin.
I would call them unaware.
Unaware, yeah. So repair, reuse or recycle. If you had to rank the 3 R's in order of impact, what's your personal
I will
ranking?
always go with repair.
Okay.
Repair is, it may not sound very glamorous, but repair is first.
Repair comes first. Yeah.
And then reuse, and then recycle. Recycle is
Always
problematic.
the last, yeah.
But people think recycling is good, but
I
recycling
know.
is actually, it's not as good. Obviously better than throwing in a
Throwing
garbage
it away.
bin, but recycling is obviously...
Yeah, recycling is still energy intensive.
Yeah.
So
Unless manufacturer wakes up and starts having better design,
Yeah.
you can change the IC by yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would be great, right?
Yeah, innovation, everything is possible. I
Yes.
think if Tim Cook wakes up one day and says, okay guys, I'm changing it, it's just a mindset, I think I don't want to go political, but actually it's a very mindset approach.
Absolutely. So what's the oldest device that has ever come through R3 Factory's door, and what did you do with it?
A good one. So oldest device would mean, I say, we get like say Nokia 3310, I think it's what we all remember, but there were lots of phones, big Motorola. I think one Dell laptop came which was pretty huge,
Wow, okay.
And lots of phones were there. Even Nokia was always a, old phone. We would always get different kind of phone, and people still love it.
Yes.
One of the phone, actually, there's also Sony Ericsson phone, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Right. And
even I had one. Yeah. Sony
and
Ericsson.
then I wanted to give it to the head of Sony. He's a friend of mine. He used to be Sony head, so I thought, okay, sir, you have it. And probably he had to give to somebody else. So that was the one. I think, but in general, what we do is, rather than falling, in love with it, we say, okay, let's recycle it.
Okay.
And we run such quite a lot of programs. So we work with Redington. in terms of running the buyback and guaranteed buyback program.
Okay.
And they run it through strategy and all these companies.
Right.
So the people bring in any laptop, they get value, they buy new, and all the old laptops comes to us, and then we test, grade, and resell it. Yeah,
Right. So you recycle as well as you sell, second-hand products.
Yeah. Recycling, I don't do it myself because
Okay.
recycling requires certain licenses, but there are other companies.
You
like,
work with other third-party companies.
Yeah, I think there are quite a lot of companies are here, like EnviroServe is there. Now there's a new company called Renew. Like there was Retech, and there's so many companies out there.
Right.
They only focus on, some companies focusing only on battery recycling.
Okay.
Some companies are only focusing on e-waste management. There's so many companies out there. So we have to just, what you call, stitch it together,
Right.
or connect the right dots.
Correct. And what is one thing in your own home or life that you absolutely refuse to throw away and always repair instead?
That's a good one. My dad brought tape recorder from Dubai back in 1985.
Okay.
And I think that was the one, I think, even though it would go faulty, we always try to fix it because of emotional value.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I lost him last month, actually.
I know. I'm so sorry.
So that was like, the saddest moment, but that tape recorder is still there. So,
yeah.
and
his memories are alive.
Yeah, still there. I think he's always alive. He's not,
yes,
I don't know. I'm not the way we imagine, but
yeah,
he's there.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's always there with you in spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a wonderful interview with you, and I got so much knowledge. And I think you've given the audience also the confidence that second hand is a good option to buy. And also, I think you gave the clarity of what all points we need to consider while buying second hand, and also recycling. Like an old gadget does not need to go to the dustbin, but it has so many useful resources. It can be reused in different industries. So it should be going to recycling.
I think it is not just about whether it's nice to do, it's actually must to do.
Must to do, yeah.
And we as a society has to realize this, and while we are going in one direction, where we have bigger salaries and bigger earnings, and we buy bigger stuff, and throwing away, I think throwing away also has to become very conscious. In fact, I was meeting one of the property developers here, and I think they had the idea of reaching to zero landfill. So, I think one of the Fakhruddin Holding is trying to work on that. And so they're trying, I'm sure there are other property developers too. So it is like, it has become necessity now.
Exactly.
Right? It's not just, nice to do. And I'm sure the time is coming with the EPR, external producer responsibility, and all these stuff. I think we are becoming more aware, and we will become more responsible. Some may still remain irresponsible, I think, but they will, with the time, it all will go.
Correct.
Because I think after advent of AI and lots of energy consumption has increased.
Oh my God, yeah.
Price of RAM and the hard disk and etc.
I think the prices have shot up
because everybody is consuming into their own thing, and somehow we humans are.
So that itself shows that we are falling short for resources, isn't it?
Yeah, I think lots of geopolitics is also there.
Okay.
I think so, but in general, because when you depend on one country only for all the supply chain, and obviously, and we're also trying to. It's a geopolitical question actually, but yes, it is true. I think those who have the access. So in general, I think we as a human need to be on research oriented, try to understand what is going on, and not to have a dearth of courage to do the right thing.
Correct.
Following something because something is being happening for ages, and it won't be the same.
Absolutely.
And this is what we see after AI coming in.
Yeah.
Suddenly, like you're walking with everybody's head together, so you already have the superpower. So what it means is about how we take decision, how we make decision.
Correct.
So being more self-aware is the key.
Yes.
Right. Knowledge is all there.
Absolutely. And I think waste is such a big problem.
Such a big problem. Such an opportunity, I would say. I don't call it a problem.
Yeah.
It's a massive opportunity, right? I think because today, let's say you are, producing 10, right, and distributing it. But you already produce thousands.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
But if you really don't create an awareness about
that awareness is not
so
there.
So people think, okay, like I'm zero, I've got my salary, bank balance is zero. But Papa, what about you already have it?
Absolutely.
Right? So everybody is actually walking with the numbers. And I think since like it is not visualized, depicted, So people don't understand.
Anything else you want to add which might be I did not ask? Anything important?
R3 factory, as I said, when we started, we were doing B2B. We worked
Right.
with the manufacturer. Then we started with the B2C.
Okay.
And with the time, we understood that this game is far more complex than the way we understand. Obviously, when we sell something, we make money, and that's how we survive.
Yeah.
We are a team of 22 people.
Oh, wonderful.
But what I've seen that this market already does it. It is not measured, it is not improved, and it is still not yet reached to the end consumer.
Okay.
So we are trying to evolve as an ecosystem, as I said. And the ecosystem would mean that the way Google was the ecosystem for search. So our dream is to become I'm not saying become a Google, trying to become a system wherein end customer or the manufacturer or the distributor or the e-commerce company or any enterprise can find their reverse journey.
Yeah.
And if you can connect that reverse journey, things become a lot more easier. And if you can not only give invoice, can also tell them what impact they have made.
Correct.
By selling used gadget, you have made an impact. So I think they can also keep a track of it. The way you keep a track of how much bank balance you have.
Absolutely.
Similarly, you can say, okay, I have got this much of eco points, and say, how does it mean? I'm saying
I've saved so much of emissions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This word is a bit crazy, and we are trying to one of the crazy guys trying to understand and do what we think is right.
Great. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And creating a big impact. So thank you.
Man. I would say I think just trying to make a small impact, but obviously dream is to work together. So
Yes,
when you because even we also run the BFFC thing.
Yes.
At BFFC, I am not creative because I really wanted
The
to
community,
be,
yeah.
and that community is very important because
Yes.
here the ownership goes with the people, right? And that is also another level.
Yeah.
But it may sound very complex, but it's all part of the same story.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we're trying to digitalize, trying to make sense, and
Yeah.
that's
So
where
you
we
have like just for the audience to know the BFCC.
the Business Friends Forever community.
Correct. Yeah.
How it all happened, I was part of one of the networking sessions when I
Uh-huh.
started the business.
Okay.
And then suddenly I realized that I was spending too much of time in doing networking, not focusing on my business. So I stepped out from that networking and started doing my business. But then I was missing my friends because over the period of 5-6 months, I built certain relationship. I said, okay, guys, come on WhatsApp group. Someone said, okay, let's meet on monthly basis because people often give suggestions, right?
Yes.
Then we started here, and there's a Pizza Express Live and Business Bay. But it grew, it happened and grew. I think finally now we have got around 800 members in that community.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
month on
I
month.
am one of them.
Yeah, and we do.
But not very active.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's a reason to why you're not so active because the messages are so much, right?
Yeah.
When you need something, our needs are simple, right? Okay, let's say I want to buy a villa, or let's say I want to buy a car, or let's say I want to sell my thing, whatever. You have needs are simple. But when you want to really work with a WhatsApp kind of environment, that's where too much of people, they say, man, 1,000 messages to read.
Yes.
So we're not supercomputer. We are a singular brain. And that's what we're trying to solve the problem. So probably, at some stage where you can say, I need this, and people who are with the same product or service reach out to you.
Wonderful.
So
Nice.
this helps me as R3.
Yeah.
Because I see that as a chain of people working together and we are doing something. So I always say that we are a small spot in the whole universe.
Correct.
Right?
You're creating that community of people.
So that helps in my business. Also, it helps everybody else.
Absolutely. And it's a lovely way you operate because it's not very commercialized. Like it doesn't feel like it's only a give and take kind of a thing, but
Not
it's
really,
more of a relationship building and making friends.
But that's what exactly important because today world is hyper divided, and I always say that very loud and clear.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring that cohesiveness, and life is limited. So I think that's a life which I would like to live, and people around me to be more connected, feel more satisfied and peaceful.
Absolutely. Lovely. It was great. It
Thank
was a
you.
pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.